I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by.
I'm not even going to warn you.
And we're back.
Okay.
Okay, but I should tell you, something made me grumpy in the interim between episodes, so I'm coming at you with a bit of an edge, but I do have an open and soft heart for you where you're concerned.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm
This
here.
might not even be an episode. This might be an outtake. We'll see what happens here.
I should have
Okay,
a drink.
welcome to Harleys and Hairspray outtake, or we'll see what it is. But here's my big Tina question, and this is a big question for me. Okay, like a big one.
I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
And I'm aggressive.
Okay. I'm scared to ask you
What?
because this is one of those. This is a divisive question
Oh
right
boy.
here.
Luckily, I have my hair clip.
Tell me about Hamilton. Do you like it? Did you not like it?
Hamilton. I love Lin-Manuel.
Okay.
I can't separate Lin-Manuel's genius from Hamilton. Hamilton is irrelevant.
Oh, you are dodging the question.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Because when a man takes a train from Manhattan to one of the boroughs and he's dirt poor and he's working on a theme that's a non-traditional theme and he's putting all of his money on something that will never sell and has no hope of succeeding or finding a place on Broadway, and he's so committed to working this out of his system and extracting it, Hamilton doesn't matter. The conviction and the genius and the artistry of Lin-Manuel and his position on having to exercise this particular creative demon out of him, and then to find a community of people that will support him. Do you know how many plays make it to Broadway? And then plays about American history? Plays about a black man in American history? Plays about a black man in American history written by a Latino man who's struggling with poverty in his everyday life? So I'm not dodging the question. I think Hamilton is one of the human condition's greatest accomplishments. Not because of Hamilton, but because of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wow.
It's not a dodge. I cannot separate.
I get you. I just feel like a piece of shit now.
Well, what I'm sorry is this question came out of nowhere, but I have a very concrete feeling about it.
Well, clearly, I'm just going to say what I think, but
Please,
I
please,
want to
yeah,
riff
yeah.
on this first
Sure.
because I did not go there. And as you say that, I'm like, that's actually why art exists. Everything that you
Yes.
just said, that
Yeah.
is exactly why art exists. So aside from what the art was, which I have an opinion about,
Yes.
the process of what got it there, like when you
Yes.
say it like that, I'm like, I'm all about that. Like, right? Like, because things find us. This thing we have to create grabs us by our guts and says, take this the whole way. And that happened with Hamilton.
Is there, if you can name 10 greater underdog stories, I will give you a huge prize and a kiss. Not that my kiss, but I'm just saying, Lin-Manuel's making of something so unlikely where he came from with his resources, and a story like that and to become such an overwhelming public and commercial success and critical success, may be one of the greatest underdog stories in all of arts entertainment history. Certainly in the top 10.
Okay.
That's why I can't have an opinion about Hamilton isolated. It has to be tied into the greater landscape of what birthed it.
Wow.
And that's, so if you ask me, so I feel very strongly about Prince.
Yeah.
Very, very strongly. And I won't go into it, but if you ask me about Purple Rain or something, kind of a traditional question about Prince, I will have the same type of answer. I will not talk about Purple Rain specifically. I will talk about Prince and what gave Purple Rain rise, because you can't look at a diamond and just explore its cut without exploring the other seas.
You totally just like came up a number of levels in my, not that you were down very low.
I'm very low to begin with, so this is easy.
But seriously, you just earned a whole bunch more of like love bricks from me.
Oh my God, build those bricks, girl.
Like truly, like that is, I was not expecting that answer. I'm glad that I didn't prepare you with that question because
Right.
that is the best answer. It's
thank you.
Yeah, it kind of took my breath away.
Super honest. But I also think that's, and maybe this is a question for our viewer, how do you approach the world? Because I see a pattern in the way I approach the world. If you asked me a question about you, I would approach it exactly the same way. I think I go from the wider context, from the macrocosm, in to crystallize the topic at play. I need to know what the causation is so that I can assign a better, more precise meaning to the kernel inside, to the eye of the storm. I need to know how wide the storm is so I have a better appreciation for the nucleus. So if your topic, whatever the topic is, if that's the nucleus, I must know the involved parties, the players around.
I am totally blown away.
Otherwise, I'm an idiot. I'm not making an informed...
I did not know this about him. Like, I did not know this, that the journey is as intrinsic for you in what you value. It's not just the product. Wow. In fact, part of the product is the journey.
Yeah.
It's totally intertwined. Wow. I am so surprised. I
love the...
I'm more shallow than you are.
You're super shallow. I look really shallow, but sometimes I give things thought. No, but don't you think this whole notion that we know the hero's journey, right? The story of the hero's journey. That's the most interesting thing in life.
Yep. No,
that's the struggle of it all,
right?
Just
the transformation of it all.
I
would say, because the hero's journey is just one journey, and that's just one, and there are many journeys, but that's just my own story nerding out, and it's key. Every story wants to have a transformation in it.
It is the transformative nature of life. We see those Instagram moments, right? We all know Instagram's the highlight moment. Everybody just shows their highlights. But the transformation to take you to that zenith, to the apogee that you capture, that everybody talks about. You win an Oscar, you win a Grammy. That's that capturable moment that has so little to do with all of the lead up, all of the work, that hero's journey of transformation from you're on the L train to now you're on Broadway with Hamilton. That is so exciting. Because the juice is in the struggle. The juice is in the addictions and denials and anger and conflict and divorces and love affairs and the depths. It's the yo-yoing. Like, I don't care that it's a yo-yo. What I care about is the yo-yo is great and they're intrinsically woven together, but I love the potential of everything the yo-yo can do in its motion that you never see when you just see the plastic circular thing in a package. You don't see its potential. You just see kind of a culmination of what is offered to the consumer. But the potential, you never see it. It's not concretized. It's abstract. So I don't really care about the award or the yo-yo or Hamilton per se, because none of it is about that.
So the piece that I'm hearing, and I think this is how it applies to life, is that the art is the journey, and the byproduct of that journey is another piece of art potentially that lives. That people may never know how it got there, and it lives on its own. But there's this whole other arc that is so beautiful. Like, that is giving your heart to art
in every way, and that is why we frequently talk about, just in private, about one of our favorite podcasts, And the Writer Is.
Oh.
So thank you, Roz Golan and the Writer Is family. But what we love about that is you listen to a guy like Ryan Tedder or any number of the 170 guests that Ross and Joe have had on that podcast. The most exciting part is, how did you go from your basement
Mm.
or your double wide trailer or whatever it is, and you had this whole thing that led up to the song that everybody's singing across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us about being a 20-year overnight sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the song, I understand what it took to craft that song. I understand the form, the melody, harmony, rhythm, etc. I understand. But that path
Mm.
from fan to student of the game to someone who has mastered the craft to all of the people along the way that met you and destroyed you and lifted you up, all of that. That's my favorite part of every episode, because everybody has the same story dressed differently. And the outfits are always, oh, it's a struggle. Oh, the thing that you hear for 3 minutes on the radio, that was a 9-month project
Mm-hmm.
between 4 people in 2 different cities. And 2 of us were eating mac and cheese because we couldn't afford actual food. So enjoy singing that song and think that we're all millionaires just because it's on the radio, because it's so far from the truth. And after the song is dead and it's off the charts, we're back to the struggle.
Mm.
We're back to zero
Yeah.
on a new project with its own story, right?
Yeah.
And its
Yeah.
own travel
Yeah.
and its own journey. And it's just this ride, it's this constant ride. You're going to be at a peak, but that peak is a moment in time on the graph. The graph is really... So Hamilton, beautiful point, peak on the graph. But Lin-Manuel is all of this, just to cycle it back. And all of us are all that. All of us. The makeups and the breakups, baby. That's what makes us all. You can only appreciate that with age, though, don't you think?
The makeups and the breakups? Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole...
Yeah.
The drama of the travels.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
The drama of the travels. And
it's just the journey of life. It's just the journey of life. And there's no way around it.
Yeah, and honestly, when I look back, and we've all experienced this to some degree, right? You think, I'm going to just get in my car and just go traveling. And just drive across the States. And yeah, you visit Portland and you enjoy the food, or you visit San Francisco and, oh my God, there's the Bay Bridge. But really what you remember that, of course, but then you remember, oh, some dude was letting off fireworks by the side of the road in Nowheresville, South Oregon. Or we had a flat tire and we had to get rescued by 2 cousins with no teeth that were making love to each other. And so you remember the travails and the struggles that you couldn't even...
I love the way your brain works. 2 cousins who have no teeth,
but they're
making love to each other.
But they're intimate.
Did you catch that too?
They're intimate, and you're like, I got to know more about these cousins. This is more exciting than going to San Francisco. The cousins story, right. And they're from Alabama or something. You're like, well, tell us some more about the cousin story or the sister wives who rescued you. So all of these things that you couldn't have anticipated but can only happen because you get in your car and you decide to go trekking, go on that adventure, and get out of your. We dissed accountants in our last episode, or the metaphor.
Yeah, we did.
So we love all of our accounts.
As long as they're sponsors.
As long as they're sponsors.
Right. We need some accountant sponsors.
But you need to leave your cubicle and put down your pocket protector and go on an adventure, and you never know what's going to happen. The adventure may lead you to a Hamilton, but the adventure itself with the sister wives and the kissing cousins and the fireworks, and the guy lost a finger he's selling fireworks on the side of the road. Let me show you how the fireworks work. And all of a sudden the fireworks takes off his index finger and you're like, okay, I'll buy these fireworks just so you can get your finger sewn back on. You clearly need the funding. So that's, to me, that's the juice. But you can only really appreciate that when you're a little older and you're not dramatizing or stressing out about all of those pitfalls, because those pitfalls are the best stories later.
Totally.
When you look back and you go, hey, I survived this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You'll never go, San Francisco sushi. Yeah, okay. Kind of great.
Got the hat.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Love it.
So those are the stories.
Well, there we are.
Hamilton. Huh?
Yeah, that's it. So,
I'm sorry.
No. I will not answer the question.
Okay.
I will not, because it will appear very surfacey and frivolous and shallow and bitchy, actually. I'm like, oh no.
I'm not sorry.
No, I love it. I love your answer.
There you go.
Okay, till next time.
Peace.
I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by.